Wow, guys, Trump kicks this CBS host out of the cabinet meeting when they try to say they didn't edit Kamala Harris's 60-minute interview. You guys got to check this video out.
Mr. President, you're in litigation with CBS News. Is this a case that you'd like to see go to trial, or are you open to
With
some
who?
CBS, the 60 Minutes?
CBS?
Yes.
Well, CBS did something that was amazing. Kamala was unable to answer a question properly, and they took the question that they asked and they inserted an answer. They gave her an answer. This was 2 days before the election, right before the Sunday night before the election.
And they recorded it.
And they
Yeah.
wrote out they put her words from another question that was asked about a half an hour later, and they put that into the question. Nobody's ever even heard of it before. Nobody's ever heard of anything like this before, but they then did it, they say, on numerous occasions, and the FCC is looking at it very strongly, and everybody's looking at it, but nobody's ever seen anything. Think of it, they took her answers and they changed them. And I don't mean they changed a word or two, or they cut off a half a sentence, or they cut off a couple of words. I mean, I've had that happen too, but that you just say, then they say, well, we want brevity, we want to do it for time. They took out her answer and they inserted an entirely different answer that made her sound competent. And they did this.
No, both answers were trash. Anyway, both
Yeah.
of the answers were trash.
They literally dug their own grave by editing that interview and then coming out saying they didn't edit it.
Right. Try
It
to
was
lie
leaked
about
by
it.
someone that actually worked there. They dug their own grave.
Exactly. That's why I heard that Trump is doing a merger deal with Rosebud, which is the owner of Paramount.
Yep.
So he be a part owner of CBS if that goes through. If not, they have to pay him like $900 million or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of these news stations need to be investigated because they're actually motivating the
the voters,
politics.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's propaganda. And literally, the U.S. has always been involved with spreading propaganda during elections, not just in America, but
Yeah.
all over the country. As a matter of fact, Marjorie MGT is pressing that the USAID funded a lot of Democratic propaganda to mess up elections and to get, conservative presidents out of the way because
Yeah.
they're against conservative parties all over the world. You know what I'm
Definitely true.
saying? So that's one of their things, propaganda.
Keep going, man.
Let's do it.
Nobody's ever, I thought I've heard of everything when it comes to that stuff. No, I've never heard of it. Nobody's ever seen. So we sued, and we are in discussions of settlement.
What would a number be? What's a number that you would think would be appropriate?
I think it's a lot.
You ain't lying. A whole lot. I'ma own it.
And honestly, though, they don't want to settle this in court. This is something you want to settle outside of court. You say, "Here, take this 100 million," because he's going to sue them for everything they have.
Yeah, they can't even afford it. They can't afford to sell it. That's why they're considering the merger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's over.
Yeah, a lot of people gonna lose their jobs behind
Right. And
this.
all he wants is really an apology from the guy, I forget his name, Walt.
Black guy, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
black guy Walt, the executive producer.
Let's keep going, man.
It probably did affect the election. I mean, we won by a lot. As I said, too big to rig. But it probably did affect the election. Probably could have won by more, but I could have lost the election because of that.
Facts.
We have to get to honest elections. We have to go back to paper ballots. We have to go back to voter ID. One-day election, ideally, or a short term, not these 48-day and 61-day elections where boxes are put in a room and, let's move the boxes because we're putting in a new air conditioning system. And you see the boxes move, and then you say, well, where are all the boxes? What happened to the boxes that never came back?
This really
our
happened.
elections are extremely dishonest. We're the only country in the world that has mail-in voting and all of these different things that we put in. No other country in the world has it. France went to, they had some of the things that we had, and they went to same-day voting, all paper. And paper is very sophisticated now. It's a very sophisticated, sophisticated form of voting right now. It's a very safe form of voting. The other things for the governors, I wish the governors would do it because the paper ballots will cost 9% of the machines, and they're 100%. Nothing's foolproof, but they're as close as you get. So we'll see what happens. But on the 60-minute thing, nobody's ever seen anything like it.
If we were being honest, 100% of the problems when it comes to politics start with the media. You know, they're the root of all evil because they promote and they promote hating Trump and promoting Democrats because if they do that, they get to fuel their pockets. The Doge is the worst thing to ever happen to these people because they're getting investigated for once. People that's done all the screwing is finally getting investigated.
Facts. Around the world, these USAID offices have been used to spend money to propagate whoever they wanted to be in office, not just in America. No, it's about time that we have an administration that's not sneaking around on us.
Yeah,
And like bro said, the fake news. Hopefully, Trump owns these fake news, or just removes them from the point. It used to be a time when the news represented a objective opinion
yeah.
that the public could read and make their own opinion with, not just
And they're forcing
one
stuff.
sided. Yeah, they're forcing one sided suedos that's not even true to.
And then they're censoring you if you speak up against it.
Yeah, cut your channel off on YouTube if you say something. As a matter of fact, they passed a lot of they spent 10 million to pass internet censorship laws in Brazil so they can mess up an election that they had in there. We do this all over the country, messing up the voters' internet voice, online presence, or just spending millions to spread negative propaganda. But in this case, they literally passed a censorship law to keep people from saying certain things. So yeah, it's time to stop about that.
Definitely true. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Be sure to check out his channel description.
What he said.
Yeah.